Welcome to this explainer on Neville Goddard's teachings. We're taking some truly profound, esoteric ideas about manifestation and, well, transforming them into a structured, step-by-step guide. If you've ever felt bogged down by vague advice about creating your reality, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to look at the exact, literal mechanics of how your mind shapes your reality according to the law of assumption.
Here's our complete manual for today. We'll be hitting the law of assumption, the conscious versus subconscious mind, those vital gateways of sleep and prayer, living from the end, the art of revision, and finally, the exact steps to actually manifest. Let's jump in.
To start us off, I really want you to ask yourself this paradigm-shifting question. What if the secret to your dream life wasn't about becoming something in the future, but simply being it right now? Keep that in the back of your mind as we explore the foundation of this whole philosophy.
Okay, Section 1, the law of assumption. Consciousness is the only reality. So the core of this law is the practice of mentally and emotionally embodying the state of the wish fulfilled as a present fact. And notice that crucial last part, instead of hoping it happens someday. Manifesting isn't about the outside hustle, the grinding or forcing things to happen. It's really about shifting your internal identity to align perfectly with your desire right now. You aren't saying I will be, you are declaring I am.
I absolutely love this quote from Neville Goddard, because it just brilliantly illustrates the dynamic at play here. When you dare to believe your assumption is already real, the outer world, which, remember, is just a reflection of your inner consciousness, literally has no choice but to rearrange itself to match that assumption. The world essentially plays catch-up to your new identity.
Section 2, conscious versus subconscious mind. Let's look at the actual mental mechanics of creation.
You've got this strict division of labor happening between your two minds. Goddard explains that your conscious mind, well, that's personal, it's selective, and it generates ideas. He calls this the male aspect. But your subconscious mind, it's totally impersonal, it completely transcends logic, and its only job is to give physical form to those ideas. The female aspect. Think of it like this. Your conscious mind is the gardener planting seeds, and your subconscious is the unjudging soil. It doesn't care if you plant a beautiful rose or a giant destructive weed, it's just going to grow whatever you put in it.
Section 3, gateways, sleep and prayer. Bypassing the filter. Because think about it. If the subconscious is where all the actual creation happens, how do we get our desires in there without our logical, doubting conscious mind getting in the way? The answer lies in what Goddard famously called SATS, or the state akin to sleep. This is that incredibly relaxed, hazy twilight state you hit right before you drift off, or during a really deep meditation. In SATS, your logical mind finally shuts up. It stops rejecting ideas based on your current physical reality. And that makes your subconscious highly, highly receptive. So sleep and prayer are literally your natural doorways to plant new seeds of reality.
Section 4, living from the end. Time to embody the final result.
Now, this is where most people get manifestation completely wrong. Hoping for the end relies on the thought, someday I'll have it. You're visualizing from the outside looking in, which paradoxically just reinforces a feeling of lack. But living from the end? That's a total paradigm shift. It's the absolute conviction of it is mine right now. You visualize from a first-person perspective, right from within the experience. It reinforces total fulfillment because you assume it's already done. You just can't manifest by wanting something in the future. You've got to embody having it in the present.
And you know what's really fascinating? This isn't just some mystical, esoteric theory. Modern neuroscience actually backs this up. When you live from the end, you activate your brain's reticular activating system to start aggressively filtering the world for opportunities perfectly aligned with your goal. You're literally creating new neural pathways that reinforce a brand new self-image. By feeling the emotions of success or love right now, you induce neuroplasticity, essentially wiring your nervous system to operate from a completely new psychological baseline. To your brain, a vividly imagined event and a real physical one are neurologically identical. How wild is that?
But what if your subconscious is heavily programmed by past trauma, failure, or just deep negative beliefs? That brings us to Section 5, the art of revision, rewriting the past.
Let me share a really fascinating, quick story straight from the source text that shows just how incredibly powerful mental revision can be. It's about a woman who was shortchanged by a newsboy out on the street.
Now, normally, a person might stew in anger or march right back to yell at the kid. But instead of confronting him or harboring all that resentment, she went home,
got completely relaxed and mentally revised the scene. She replayed the memory in her imagination, but she rewrote the ending. She vividly imagined the boy handing her the correct change and thanking her kindly.
And the result? The very next day, the boy walked right up to her, apologized completely unprompted, and returned the missing money plus extra. See, your subconscious mind holds on to the emotional impression of past events. By changing that emotional impression in her imagination, she stopped vibrating at the frequency of being wronged and literally shifted how reality responded to her the very next day. Revision is essentially mental surgery.
Section 6. Steps to Manifest. Your actionable manual. We've covered the heavy theory, now let's look at exactly how to execute this.
Here are the 5 exact steps you need to take. Step 1. Define your desired end scene. Get crystal clear on a specific, short scene that implies your desire is already fulfilled. Step 2. Enter the state. Use SATs or deep meditation to quiet that noisy conscious mind. Step 3. Feel it real. Imagine the scene strictly from a first-person perspective. Hear the sounds, feel the textures. Step 4. Accept it as a present reality. Don't try to make it happen, just accept that it already has. And Step 5. Persist. Ignore the outside world if it contradicts you, and return to that inner feeling as often as you can.
To wrap up the mechanics, I want to leave you with this defining rule. Feeling is the secret. A cold, emotionless visualization is not going to impress the subconscious mind. 0 chance. Emotion is the true language of the subconscious. You have to capture the exact feeling of relief, joy, or satisfaction that you would have if your wish were fulfilled right now.
As we close out this explainer, I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought to really ponder tonight as you drift off to sleep. Are you going to sleep hoping for a new life, or are you going to use these tools to wake up as the person who already has it? The choice and the immense power is entirely in your mind. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and I highly recommend putting these concepts into practice tonight. See you next time.